Nested line items have arrived in DocsAutomator. What are nested line items? Nested line items are if your line items have line items and those line items might have line items again. So typical examples, you have a list of projects and every project has certain tasks and maybe those tasks have subtasks again. Or we will look at an example where we have an invoice, we print certain services on that invoice, and then we have certain tasks attached to every service that we want to show as well. So you sort of have this nested relationship. It's probably the most requested feature in DocsAutomator actually over the last years. So I'm super excited to finally be able to release this and show you how it works. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. Before we get into it, let me mention that as of the time of this recording, nested line items are available for Airtable and DocsAutomator's API. All of the other data sources are hopefully gonna follow very, very soon. Let's get into it. So we're here in Airtable. Our use case is that we want to send invoices. So we have this invoicing 2025 base here, 3 tables in that base: invoices, services, and tasks. We are printing from the invoices table, so every record from the invoices table, and then these records are connected to certain services, or they have certain services on them, and then every service has certain tasks on them again. So that's our nested relationship between all our tables in Airtable. Let's go into DocsAutomator and see how we map these things and how we need to change the template accordingly, because there's a little bit of extra syntax introduced in order to tell DocsAutomator that nested line items are coming, or that we want to add nested line items in our documents. Maybe you're already familiar with this. This is how line items have always been declared. Basically, this signal word line items 1 or line underscore items underscore 1, and then just regular variables in double curly brackets behind that. That's how we tell DocsAutomator line items are coming here. And what we can do now is we can add another level below, like another row below, and use line items underscore 1 again here for this first line items table, also the only line items table we have in this document. And then we add underscore 1 again. Underscore 1 basically in this case is the first nested level. Or how we can also think about this is our level 1, which has been in DocsAutomator for quite a while. So level 1 line items, and then we have our level 2 line items, or the nested line items, or the line items of the level 1 line items. We could also have a level 2. So level 2 basically would be we add this again, and then we would add an underscore 2 and would declare our variables after this here as well. For our use case today, we don't need this because what we do is we have our invoice details around this, and then we print our services. So the list of services from our services table, and then every service gets tasks from our task table. So a little bit of extra syntax added in templates, which is quite handy because in the nested row in the line items table, you can again style this in any way you want. As you can see here, I've added some indentation, for instance, to differentiate the different levels in this case, but you could style this in a different color. You can even merge cells now, which I've done here actually for the description, because the description tends to be a bit longer, so it would have been not visually pleasing to have this here in the hours column. So I've actually merged all 3 cells in this case, so we get a bit more space. So you can basically design this in a different way compared to regular line items or level 1 line items, so it's easier to differentiate the 2, or if you have another level, the 3 levels. Let's save and continue. Let's see how we map these things under number 3, under data mapping. I've selected the base table and set all the other things up already, mapped some fields here, and then let's get to the line item part. Level 1, we've selected our services, because that is the first level of line items, our list of services for every invoice. So I've selected the linked field services. The view is all services, also the only view we have right now in this linked table. And then we can select a level 2. And the level 2 here, we're basically selecting from our fields, our linked fields on our services table. So we want to basically get the tasks for every service. So we reference our task field, which is this linked field. Then we get to the mapping part where we map the variables in those line item rows to the corresponding fields in our tables. For our level 1 variables, we get the option to map to the fields in our connected level 1 table, which is services. And for level 2, we get the option to map our task fields, which is in this table. So we map among these fields. And we've done so for service name, hours, hourly rate, total. We've selected the corresponding fields. And then for the level 2, task name and description, we've taken, the task name and the description here and mapped them. Now we can save and continue. Let's create a preview again. And now we can see how basically for every service we're adding, we're getting tasks below that service. So every service here, discovery and research, for instance, has 2 tasks attached to them. Front-end development has 3 tasks attached to them, etc. So really, really handy to show this nested relationship between our different levels, in this case, services and tasks. A couple of things I want to show you. The view on level 1, this was already there before, basically determines the sort order and the sort order of records on level 1, of course, in this case. And you can also filter linked records down further. So if in that view in Airtable you filter things down further, then only those filtered records would basically added just like before. What's new is this sort by field. This is now available for all data sources. And if I would deselect the view here, I could actually just sort by any of my Airtable fields on the services table in this case. And then depending on the field type, I get either, in this case, 1 to 9, 9 to 1, because the numbers field, or I get A to Z. Actually, if there would be a date field, I would also get oldest or newest first here as the selection. So basically for Airtable, it's still more powerful to select the view, and then we can't sort by the other parameter anymore. But for the other levels, we can actually also sort by our fields on the other levels. So we also have now granular control over the sorting order of those nested items as well. Last thing I want to show you is auto number. If we have auto number enabled and I generate a preview again, then we see that now we get 1, 2, 3 for our services, and then we get a .1, .2 or .1, .2, .3. We increase the width a bit of the auto number column here. But you can see that sort of auto numbers also work for nested line items. And that's it. That's how easy it is to create nested line item relationships in DocsAutomator and print them on your documents. Can't wait to see what you do with this. Please let me know how you put it to use. And for now, I wish you happy automating and speak to you very soon.